Hello, everybody. My name's Milan Starcic. Welcome to Freedom Rising, a podcast dedicated to empowering individuals on the journey to personal growth, lasting serenity, and freedom from addiction. Tune in and join the movement. Your journey to freedom starts here. We neither represent, promote, or demote any 12-step program or organization. We are merely souls on the path of recovery with the desire to expand our lives and experiences and share them with you. Hello, everybody.
What's up?
Welcome to the 179th Recovery Freedom Rising podcast. I can smell the freedom in the air.
Yes.
And my name's Milan Starcic, and I'm here with co-host Andrew Normand and Brandi S. Some magical motherfucker is celebrating 2 years today.
I know this dude. I know this guy right here. I know
this guy.
I know him. I know we friends, man. I'm so. Bro, first off, I before you say anything else, man, congratulations, man. Like, you know,
you did the work.
You did the work, bro, and you did more than the amount of work for in my case, man, for me. And I love you, man. I'm so fucking proud of you, bro. I'm so proud of you.
I know.
I love you too so much.
2 years, bro.
This is the longest I've been straight since I was 7 years old.
That's so awesome.
You want to say a little bit about it before we kind of get? I know we're gonna, just a little something on it, just a little something, man.
You know what it really is to me when I look at the difference is it really is about freedom, peace, serenity, and all that comes from love. Yeah. Truthfully, like that's it. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. And what I thought freedom was, it wasn't freedom at all. And I am so happy to actually just for this process still to be continuing as strongly as it is. Like the changes between 1 year and 2 year were phenomenally greater than I ever could have conceived. And so, I'm just excited for what is in store if things keep changing and surprising me like that.
Hey, get your popcorn ready.
That's the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing is like when you get excited for what hasn't come yet, like the growth
and what
is
I
huge.
don't know, like I'm not looking forward to something. I'm looking forward to everything.
Yes. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So true.
But
so
embrace
true.
it. And like I said, get your popcorn ready, put your seatbelt on, man, because, as advanced as you've been, because you're just, you're a magical dude. I'll say it. And so I can only, I'm just blessed and I'm grateful to be able to be in a position to be part of your recovery, man. Because when one of us celebrates, bro, we're all celebrating, man. So your 2 years, bro, I'm celebrating all day today with this, man.
Straight up. I feel it.
True,
like I'm
man.
excited. I'm excited.
It's so true, man. It's so true. When I popped on, I saw your name on there. I'm like, bro, that's my man right there. I know that guy.
I want to grow old in recovery together.
Maybe I just froze.
Yes.
I hope I didn't.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about codependency again. I'm going to roll through this because y'all are still froze.
You're nope.
Yeah, your picture was frozen, but not your words. Yeah.
Sorry. How would you like to get this started? Just get it started.
I'm saying today's topic, codependency, part 2, the revenge. Andrew's bringing it in.
The revenge. Okay, great. So obviously, but what was it? It was about a month ago. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning there. Again, codependency. We did it a month ago. We opened up that
longer,
discussion.
Wasn't it with Sydney?
No.
It was us three.
I think.
Us three about a month ago. A little over a month ago.
Yep.
Because I re-listened to it because I just wanted to kind of listen to it again and see where we were at. So we opened up that broader discussion, and as we got through that 2 hours, it was like, damn, we don't really know much about this. And then I think we'd even made reference to that, in my opinion, that there needed to be an IP about it because it was so important.
Yes.
There's so much into it, and I stand on that. But obviously, this is a topic that is huge for us. But there's so many layers, and as I started breaking it down into part 2, the revenge, it's more about how I define myself, right? How I give away that power, and how I try to control and fix others, and sometimes how I literally trade that peace for someone else's approval. right? And that's how
Yeah.
I look at this thing as I'm literally giving out my peace, man. I'm taking, look, this peace that I've worked so hard to get, right? I've worked so hard to get this peace, man, because it's so unfamiliar to me. I'm so addicted to chaos. I find that peace, and then I give it away on on a basis of like of of your situation, right? Like I'm literally
Yeah.
giving away what I've been working years and decades to become this dude that I am today, and I'm going to give you the very fruits of my labor, give that away on how you're feeling about a situation that we're in, or whatever it is. It's tough, and I don't think until you're in it, for me, I can't even really notice it. I don't even really notice it, right? Because I feel like I'm doing something for somebody, nice for somebody.
Yeah.
um I didn't know who I was without other people in addiction. Even when I first
Oh
got here,
man.
I everything I was based on other people,
Yep.
and it got worse. People would enable me, right? Bail me out, give me attention. When I got attention in those times, like I would just continue on with it, man. And looking back at it, I mean, grateful now I can look back at it and not do that anymore and try to correct that. But I had a pattern, man. I had a pattern that and this 12-step fellowship took me out of. When I got here, I wanted to be the perfect sponsee. You know, I wanted to be the perfect member. And then when I became a sponsor, I wanted to be the best sponsor, right? Like I
Yeah.
feel like there's some, like, as we get into this thing, we'll break this thing open. But as I've gotten some clean time under my belt, I'm 3.5 years clean. Like it's just it's a different term to me. I think as we progress, this thing layers up and it becomes its own beast. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
pass that to you, Brandy. What does the revenge jank mean to you? And then we'll pass this all around. I got so much shit to talk about.
Man.
Congratulations,
I gotta
Milan. Love you, bro.
Yes. I gotta almost say something about what you said, which is, about this codependency. Somebody had told Sydney, which is a beautiful thing, that says that you're supposed to, when you give it away, what we've been given, it's supposed to be your overflow. So if you're not if you're not full, you're giving away what you need. And sometimes we do that.
Ooh, love
Yeah,
that.
I know it's good. It's really good because
Me
it just makes, and
Reiki.
I'm a visual person too.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Sizzle the
you
pan.
can't, like, how many times have we given away what we need in life and in recovery? And then I read something that says overcoming codependency doesn't mean you stop caring. It means we care in a healthier way with no longer losing ourselves. And I think that's, because it's that, well, I just want to be able to be there for them, or, especially when it comes to my kids and stuff, like, where's that fine line? But it doesn't mean I don't love them. It just means I want to love them healthier. It doesn't mean I don't love my husband. It just means I want to love him healthier and with myself. And so, like, this is I love that we're doing this topic again, because really there's so much to it. I had questions that I didn't ask last time, and I came up with more for today, just
Me
because I've
too.
learned, just learning more about it, and seeing it. And so I'm excited. And with this topic in this podcast, it has given me the courage to dive into the enabling part to it. And so I'm going over
Mhm.
steps I got a new sponsee. I'm going over some steps, and I'm doing mine on enabling. So we'll see how it goes. I'm
Nice.
That's
nervous, but
beautiful.
whatever.
I love you brought up
Yep.
enabling.
Mhm.
That's a real deceptive one for me. I want to talk about that
Yeah.
more later on. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, they're like cousins, I swear. So that's all I got though.
I love it. Yeah, like codependency. Man, when we touched on it before, I think that we could have like a monthly series for 5 years.
Yeah.
There's really so many threads to it that we can delude ourselves that we're not even doing it right.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, Bryant is a really good person as an
Ice.
example, of somebody who doesn't need your validation in order to remain happy. In fact, like he'll take any nickname and laugh with you at it. Like
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
the
Respect that dude,
craziest,
man.
like he has the
Yeah.
craziest ability to roll with it that I've ever seen. And and it was, I was talking with him about this a couple days ago, and a big part of it stemmed from his reliance on needing his father's approval growing up.
Yeah.
right? And like doing the step work
Mm,
and realizing that codependency, like it was actually like pushing his dad away because his dad didn't know what to do with that kind of dependence, right?
yeah.
He's
And
talked about it on the episode before. I remember
yeah,
talking about
yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
like, it's really an unhealthy reliance on others for our identity, our worth, our emotional
Mm-hmm.
stability. Like that puts a lot of pressure on the people around us. And it shows up, when we need to be needed to fix
Yeah.
and to control others. And we can replace that with like healthy boundaries and trust in our higher power and just a general greater sense of well-being inside us.
Yeah.
Like the more that we can become serene, peace, content, joyful on our own, the more we can deliver that person to other people instead of like
Yes.
having it to be like, I need this from you in order for me to be happy.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
and and I like in the AA Big Book, it points out how self-will can entangle us in relationships built on fear rather than love. I like how they phrase that. But in Living Clean, it says, that true connection grows when we let go of controlling outcomes. And it's
Yeah.
really like, you know, um, I had a fine example. Man, I got this new sponsor. She's just a magical freaking motherfucker. Like, anyway,
I like
so I
it.
had this conflict with someone this week, and it's like, picture my arm is named John, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I like it already. I like it.
here's my
I
arm,
do.
and this is John, right? And so now I've given John a job. Okay, this job is called respect
Getting
and
better.
kindness to Milan. So John now, where's John? Can you see John now?
Yeah, off
No,
and on.
No,
Not
no,
not
no. But
there we
can
go.
you see John?
no,
What John
Oh
looks like?
no,
no.
All
Okay, I
you
get it. I
see
get it.
is the role I put on him.
Brandy.
So we'll never get to see anybody else truthfully until
That's
we
true,
stop,
bro.
Yeah.
being dependent on them for these roles. And it's
Yeah,
just like, she's
Mm,
like, you're never going to actually know anybody if all you're seeing is that expected role from them.
yeah,
yeah.
Because then they're just failing at that role constantly. And it's not their job to be that role. We are the ones who have to
Man, yeah.
respect ourselves and kindness. And so I feel like I've had a big week of just learning more about codependency on an actual fractured family situation. And so let's roll
Yeah.
into some questions and be
do
I
magical
it.
love it.
motherfuckers together.
I
Let's do it,
love it.
man.
I'm
Let's do it.
excited.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna pass this to you, Brandy. Let's get it sizzled this way. How do you today, with more awareness of it, recognize when you're falling into codependent patterns today?
Man, I think even with knowing more about because that's a thing for me. It's not like could I be codependent? Like I've dealt with codependency my whole life. Like I said, I thought it was like something I needed a badge for. Like people needed me and I needed them. Um, but it was more like I felt like, I felt special to be needed in that way. But when it's unhealthy, it's unhealthy. But today it's like when I recognize it, it's really hard to keep going in that action. Like when you acknowledge something, it's almost like the knowledge I've learned ruins my bad habits, which is not a bad thing, right? But it doesn't mean I don't fall into it still. Sometimes I don't see things until afterwards, and I'm like, I could have been a little bit better about that. Like my husband's out of town and I'm excited for him. I really am because he's in our 20 some years together. It's the first time he's ever gone away anywhere. Anywhere. It's always me. And I slept like shit last night. And I was like, stop. And my dog wouldn't even cuddle with me. He's mad too.
Damn.
I
Oh,
know. I'm like,
shit.
I got this big old king size
Damn.
bed and this little dog, and I'm all by myself. But I was like excited. But at first I was like, man, I really do need him to like I need him to be home when I sleep, like all this feeling that way. And I'm like, and when we started talking about this, I was like, Brandy, like that's not like that's just sleeping, and like that I got almost don't even know what to do when he's not home. My son's like, are you gonna cook dinner this week? I'm like, well, I think,
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
so.
Maybe.
We had Mexican and ice cream last night, so that's a good start, right?
That's great. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, it was good. But it's like I can even in ways I don't see like my addiction, like, my disease in, I can still find my ways of like forgetting I'm my own person. And I don't need, like, of course I don't say this in like, of course I need my husband. I love him. But like, who am I? Who am I when he's not around? And so, and with that, I need to remember, like, I'm like, it's okay. It doesn't mean that he has to be right there. Cause I don't like to be codependent because, I've been that way. And so even little things that may not seem unhealthy, like I just need to pay attention to, I need to be okay with. And, and, and then flipping the script, like when it comes to my kids, like how easily am I like avoiding a argument because I don't want to, not that I care if I upset my kids, but I don't want to deal with it. And so I enable and there's that I care what they're feeling. If they're upset, then it's going to make me upset. I got to work on that for sure. I mean, I have no problem disciplining my kids and telling them what's up, but I also, there's times where I feel like I could have been a little bit harder or in a good way. And so definitely still shows up in my parenting, and I'm finding out in my relationship on my end. My husband's, I mean, he's called me a bunch. He does miss me too, but he has to sleep in the same room with his brother, so he's not happy about that. But
Oh, snoring man.
oh, it's a snoring war. His brother's like a semi truck, so
Like, oh yeah, I
yeah.
got you. I'll raise
Yeah,
you
when
another.
they were, to go off topic for a moment, when they were staying at their mom's house when she was, her last few days, when my brother-in-law woke up to my husband standing over him with a pillow, and his brother's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know if I should use my pillow or yours." And he was like ready to smother him because he's
Oh,
just,
that's so funny. That's so
my
funny.
brother-in-law is like, that scared me. And I was like, oh man. But
Funny.
it's being okay with Brandy, being okay with just Brandy, being okay with whatever the outcome is, and try not to just make people happy. And if they're happy with me, then I'm doing good. That's not how it works. Like
Mhm.
Lonnie was saying, it made me think about this. Like when I was in treatment and I told my husband, like, when I call you, please tell me I'm doing a good job. Tell me you're proud of me. Like, I'm telling him, like, this is what I need you to tell me. Like, they're at this point, they're just words coming out of your mouth. It's not natural. And she's like, call him back and tell him no. That's not his job to tell you that. It's not his job to tell you you're doing a good job. And so it's stuff like that. Like I could pat my own back if I need to. And I really needed to hear that at that time so much that I still reference it 4 years later. And so, even though I'm not using, I can still, those character defects can come up in little things that I don't know are unhealthy until I look at them in a different angle, different perspective. So leave there.
I could see
I kind of went
Brandy
on a
like
tangent.
I could see Brandy laying in bed, the day before doing a podcast on codependency, being like, am I acting in codependent act? Like she's laying there
Yeah.
going, am I codependent on this? Am I really
Yeah.
like that
I was
codependent on
feeling
my?
it.
I'm about to do a podcast in like 2 hours to 3 hours, and
I
I'm
was,
sitting here laying. I can't even sleep because I'm so codependent on this dude.
you
It's
are
so funny.
speaking the truth right now because I was thinking about that last night.
So funny.
I
So funny.
I literally was walking this morning and I'm like, I feel like such an infant on this topic. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I was just like, this is great because
Yeah.
that's when I learn and heal the most from this podcast. When I come in guns blazing
Yeah.
thinking I'm fucking Dr. Acceptance, that's
Yeah.
when I'm in the wrong
Acceptance.
wrong
DA, you're the
headspace.
DA when you're DA, Dr. Acceptance.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Well,
so
exactly
funny.
like what you're saying, because it's as much as I feel like I've learned, I don't know shit about it, and
Yeah.
that's okay because I want to learn. I'm open to learning it. I mean, anything I can do to better myself and help other people. If there's no negative in that.
Mm.
The more we learn
I
and the more
love
we
the
uncover,
journey
we
of
don't know.
self-discovery that these questions
Amen.
Me
bring out.
too.
Like
Yes.
there's times where I'm like, oh shit, I gotta answer that on air right now. I'm like,
Mm.
hey, here
Yeah.
we go. But
Yeah.
like it's all right, man. I feel like that vulnerability is teaching me to be honest in every facet of my life.
We're
Yep.
growing. What does grow
Yep.
stands for?
Yes.
God rewards our willingness. God
Mhm.
rewards our work,
Yes.
man. Come on.
Okay,
All
could you
right, cool.
repeat the question in pig Latin?
In
Maybe.
big Latin.
Yes. So Es muss just besser so. Ching
That was,
ching chong.
that was a good try.
How do you, Milan, with a little more awareness on the topic, recognize when you're falling into codependent patterns today?
Woo. Well, I would say for sure when I'm handing out jobs. Like when I'm handing out jobs in my mind now, especially like since Saturday, because I've been like analyzing every interaction since then, and I'm like, handing out positions. Well, like I'm not human resources for the world. Like
Oh
that's
yeah, I like.
like,
I gotta tell myself that in
HR.
my family.
yeah,
I'm not human
yeah,
resources in my family.
yeah. And it's like when I start having disappointment, anger,
Mm,
expectations, resentments about things that I like that's just like not their thing to do, you know?
yeah.
And so it's like, and then when I start like ruminating about somebody, where it's like rolling in my head and I'm like, whoa, like that's not now. That's not even happening yet. Stop
Hmm.
freaking like I can set up tomorrow's tragedy today if I want. And then it
Yeah.
just like takes me right out of today. And then by the time I see you, I've already been mad at you. We've had a fight, and you're like, and I'm like, I've got and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, slow that shit
You
down.
got a week set up. You got a whole week set up.
Yeah, and none of it's even happened yet. And so, yeah, when I'm slipping out of the present moment in regards to any of my thoughts about other people, whether
That's a
it's
great
whether
point.
it's the past or the future, I like they say that restless, irritable, and discontent, right? And that's anxiety, anger, and depression. But it's
Yeah.
like it's definitely not living here right now. And
Mm.
my anxieties for certain involve other people lots of times. Whether it's going to be saying the right thing, having said the right thing, or them doing the right thing. In my mind, and the step work's really pointing out to me how bad it is for me to want you to be different. I feel like it's really becoming super apparent to me
Yeah.
how unhealthy that is for people around you to be given that disappointment, verbally, implied, facially, whatever it is, and I don't want people
Hmm.
to live in that negative shadow around me.
Yeah.
That's dope. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
man. That's beautiful,
It is.
Mr. 2 years, DA.
And I got the dirtiest smoothie in the world today. Look at the
Oh,
color
I
of
was gonna
that.
say, are you drinking mud? Are you drinking mud? What are you
One day
doing?
it was green. One day it was green.
It
So,
is
I know.
purple. It can be blood red from
Yeah.
beets. It's like
Yeah.
this
Dude.
thing is
Oh.
cucumber, carrots, mulberry, blueberries, banana, kale, and collagen powder.
Now, I bet he got the ingredients from the Bears, right? Did the Bears give you that
Yeah,
concoction
I
of?
was
Yeah.
I was like, what makes you so strong? And they're
That's
like,
so funny.
raw.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
That was good. That was good.
So, Andrew, how do I recognize, with a little more awareness on the topic, how do I recognize when I'm falling into codependent patterns today? So I started thinking about this, like when I start paying attention to my when I start paying attention to my internal reactions more than the outside situation, if that makes
Mm,
sense. My red flags would come up. Aren't always when what other people are doing for me. It's more of like what's going on inside of me because of what they're doing, right? I'm trying to find words for that, but like my internal struggle that happens because of what you're doing, which has nothing to do with me. Um, and that starts with like anxiety. That's the best way I can put it. That anxious feeling that I get, like when I have a loved one that I'm supposed to be doing something for, or I'm in a situation with somebody and they don't answer me, or they're quiet, or they answer in a way um, that I wasn't expecting. You know, I'll judge myself on their reactions or their actions to something, and it starts with like asking myself, am I enough? What did I do wrong? Did I do something to piss them off, or whatever it is? Like it happens a lot with my significant other, man, my fiance. Like it happens a lot, and it'll get I'll say something, or I won't get a response from her when I'm supposed to get one, and then I'll go down the rabbit hole of like, is she mad at me? What did I do? Should I have fixed it? What could I have done to fix it? All the meanwhile, there's no issue at all.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like instead of just letting them have their emotions, right? Letting them work whatever they need to in the time that they need to, and just communicating better. Like I'm ready to blow the shit up, man. And like what? And there's no issue at all, you know. And I've had that happen a lot, and that's something that her and I are working through, because it's one of those where like I'm usually on the offensive, trying to make things happen. If a problem comes up, I want to fix it now, and she wants to think about it and back up and
Yeah.
take a couple days. And I got to meet her halfway on that, man, because I'm ready to get it over with, man. I don't want paperwork. I don't want to
Yeah.
write shit down and be remembering what I talked about specifically. I just want to get it done. So, that's where my mind can go negative quick, right? And another way is when I start I have this written down. I start over functioning in a relationship. Like if someone's struggling, I'll go beyond supporting them. You know, like I'll start
Yeah.
taking on their recovery, right? Their problems and their emotions, and it almost kind of, and it really affects me. You know, as I'm starting to really think about this topic and how it affects me. This has happened a lot to me. Um, you know, and you know, over giving advice, right? Checking in excessively, feeling restless until they're okay, right? Until they're okay, I'm gonna coddle them until they're okay, and that's a prime codependent trait right there,
Mm.
you know. Um, and it's like an old survival mechanism, really, because I just want to people please. That people pleasing thing, it rolls into that, right? And so, how I can notice it today is when my serenity depends on somebody else's mood, right? If like which has nothing to do with my
Yes.
serenity, right? Like if your mood is a certain
Yes.
way, then I'm gonna be. If you're in a serene mood, I can be serene too, bro. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? I have to have my own
Yeah.
feelings coming into the situation and meet somebody halfway. So I was a little choppy on the answer. I didn't. I hope that
No,
made
it's
some
good.
sense.
I
But
think it
when
was
my
amazing.
yeah, so
I
it's
actually thought that was super amazing, dude.
when my self-worth rises and falls as it relates to your approval of me is when I have a problem, you know. So
Yeah.
I'll
That's
pass
a
that.
really good point. Like I almost didn't even think about that when I was answering it because like I'm a lot like you, Andrew, a lot like you.
Yeah,
And your significant other's a lot like mine. Like it's me, I'm like, I want to everything to be fixed. And it's funny how like
yeah,
when I don't get the reaction that I think they should have, or what I think would be like, you know, because I've already thought about it in my head, like how this should go,
yep,
then I get disappointed. And I'm like,
yep,
why aren't you letting me help you? Like, why are
yep,
we fixing this?
yep.
And then when he's all good, I'm like sitting here like, well, well, now I'm mad.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Then you want to spin it around. You want to spin it around,
Yeah.
and then it might just be the timing. Maybe they just didn't have time to answer you right then, and you're ready to
Yeah.
blow this shit up, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy, crazy.
Man, relationships are funny, but they're great.
Love this topic, and I love you both,
I
man.
do
I love you
too. I
both.
love you guys. Okay, so Milan, I'm asking you, right? I always
I'm
have to
ready.
confirm that. Okay, oh my God, a couple of good ones. I don't know which one to do. So what emotions do you most feel when you put others' needs before your own?
Boom. Well, okay, like, are we talking about if I do it in a true service manner or in a codependency manner?
I mean, mainly codependency, but it's, you know, I think I would answer for both really, because I think there's a
Like,
healthy and
I
unhealthy
think
way.
when I'm actually just performing service, and sometimes service ripples out in ways that I don't even know until
Yeah.
afterwards, right? Like that is really, they're some of my favorite moments in the world because it's just like I can lose that sense of self for a bit, or at least I can lose the dialogue on Milan for a while, you know,
Hmm.
which for me is really like, you know, I think that that's one of the things that people in early recovery don't understand about the value of service is that it's just like we're so fucking selfish. We're thinking about our selfishness,
Yeah.
you know, like, and it's just being able to actually be of service. Then it takes me out of that thought of myself, you know, and I've had some, you know, probably like my first magical moments of really understanding that in the program. I've always thought service was important. I have a tattoo about service on my arm that I got 4 years before getting here. But the the thing about it is that it's just like for that time it's silenced about me. And that is like that is such a gift because it's like we can't think unselfishly. Like try to think unselfish thoughts is literally
Mhm.
being selfish still, and so that's why the act of service does it. Now if I'm doing it in a codependent way, I'm probably resenting you from the start because
Yeah.
I'm actually like starting
Yeah.
with an expectation. It's like, okay, this was expected of me, so I'm either paying back or banking what you should be doing in the future. And then and
Yeah.
then if that's the case, that's a really unhealthy place for me to start out from with actions because it's for sure like paperwork to come. You know,
Hmm.
it's like predestined paperwork is
Predestined paperwork.
No
predestined.
bueno.
Yeah, it's not good for me. And so I think it's just like I I try to create service that that doesn't have the strings attached now.
Yeah.
Like and when I say that I try to do that, I'm actually like don't do this because you're expecting that. Like, I'll have these inner dialogues with myself, because I'm the only one present to call myself on that bullshit in that moment, you
Yeah.
know? But it's like,
Hmm.
I'm like, don't be doing this because you think that'll happen tomorrow. Like, and,
Yeah.
and it's like what you just said, where it's like you can see now because of this program when you're freaking going to do stuff out of line. Like you were
Yeah.
just saying something, Brandy, about that. And it's like, it's like I can telegraph when I'm going to have a bad result or doing something for the wrong reason now because of everything I've learned here. And it doesn't mean that I won't create, but it means at least now there's like a little voice here saying, hey, like upcoming bullshit. You're orchestrating, pull out the scissors, cut the strings on this motherfucker, or
Yeah.
she's gonna drag you down the river. You
Hmm.
know,
Yep.
and 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 honestly, awareness. I say it a million times, and I'll keep saying it, man. Awareness is the first step to change. Like,
Yes. Yes.
if I'm completely unaware of it until I'm freaking livid, then I gain nothing, right? But if I'm like, whoa, whoa, pull on the brakes, you're just a little grumpy about this. Let it
Yeah.
go. Like that's one of the
Yeah.
things that I'm coming to see is so important is that forgiveness, even forgiveness of self. The faster we do it, the less paperwork there is. The faster we forgive, the less paperwork there is. And in these circumstances, it's like giving ourselves some grace, seeing our change, and having some forgiveness that we're not 100% of who we used to be.
Yeah.
Like if one thing that today has brought for me is it's brought a week. The last week has been a lot of reflection, some people asking me questions about how my life has changed. And honestly, it's like those points of reflection have made me look to see how far I am from who I was. And quite frankly, like I am proud of that change, but mostly I'm just happy to be living this way.
Yeah.
Like when I look back, it's like I'm just so glad I'm not there anymore. That was not living when I look at it like through the lenses of life today. So that's it. I love you guys a lot.
I
Like, I
love
mean,
that.
like, whoa, I can barely bench press my love.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Oh my God.
spot
Uh,
me quick, Andrew. Help me with the
I got
love.
you. I got you. I got you. I got you. What am I gonna do with it now? Like,
Pass
Gotta.
it to Brandy.
I
She can
mean,
put it up on the rack. She can
okay.
handle
All
love.
right, everybody, drop it all at once. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Drop it. I
You
got
mentioned.
well.
Oh, hold on, real quick. You mentioned grace, Milan.
Yeah.
What does grace stand for? GRACE. Gratitude restores a conscious energy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like
I
it,
got one
man.
more. I got one more for
Okay.
you. Gift received and cherished every day.
Whoa.
I like that
Oh,
too.
grace. Gratitude restores a conscious energy, and gift received and cherished every day.
Boom.
Oh,
Like honestly,
those are gold.
you you need to like have like a book or something, like
Yes.
some kind of thing. No, no, I know you have it, but what I'm saying is
Kind of like your
like,
question a day, like your question a
yeah,
day.
a daily,
365.
yeah, like
Yeah.
exactly. You could do that, dude. It would be great. And not
Something
only
that we
that,
can
is
Put,
talk
that
about, man.
you could sell a new one every year at least.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm coming up with new ones. Like I come up with new ones all the. I like sit there when I'm at my free time and I
I
come
know.
up like I
But
pontificate.
that's what I'm saying, though. Like, first of all, they're amazing. Second of all,
Yeah.
other people want to hear them. And third of
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
don't be chintzy. Share those bitches.
Thank you, thank you,
Right?
thank you. That's
That's
what I'm doing.
right.
That's what I'm doing. So, all
Yeah,
right, I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll take that,
yeah.
Brandy.
All right. I gotta say, Milan, I'm really happy that you brought up both sides to my question, because really there is a part where we give
Mm,
ourselves and for other people that isn't an unhealthy way that we are, like the codependent part. Like service is a
mm.
big thing. So I do love that you
Great
It's
said
point.
that.
literally like love and service. And some days you got
Yeah.
love to give, and some days you got service to give, and some days you got
Yeah.
both. But it's like if you can just keep those two in movement,
Right.
boom,
Yep.
Hashtag LLA. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. All
I
boom,
right.
like it.
boom.
What emotions, what emotions do you feel most when you put others' needs before your own?
That's a great question. The first thing that comes to my mind is anxiety. It's usually, like anxiety, fear, insecurity. But anxiety, as soon as I start putting my worth in somebody else's hands, that's when I start feeling anxiety because it's I can't control it.
Hmm.
I'm no longer in control of it. So then I'm real anxious because depending on what you're doing or how you're acting is how I'm feeling, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. It seems like an easier lane to be in, right? Because it's just like I'm contingent on what you're doing, but it's not healthy at all, right? It's not healthy at all when you're doing it, and you can get really hurt. Get really hurt depending on the situation. As I think about it, so um, I replay my words over and over in my head when and I think like I'm sounding foolish when I should just be owning and living me and doing me, right? I'm looking for your reactions when I'm talking to you,
Hmm.
overly looking for your reactions. I find myself doing that, and then I'll really read into it, and then that'll be the basis of how I continue the conversation with you, is of how I'm feeling about you're how we're talking here, right? And I should just be giving you the information I want to give you, or whatever the situation is, man. I try not to get on too specific situations. I try to hypothetical this thing, but fear comes in a lot, Miss Brandy, when I do that. What does fear stand for? Future events already
Uh,
ruined. You already know.
yeah.
Future events already ruined. You already know. And then the normal ones.
So
I'm not going to get
true.
into the normal ones, but fear that if I don't get their approval, that I'll lose their love and respect and connection. Um, and it runs really deep for me because I used to keep people close to me at all costs. Like I would do anything
Mhm.
to keep them close to me because I needed that validation. There's where wearing masks come into play. I used to wear those masks. I would shape shift myself into anything I needed to be whatever you needed me to be to get that answer that I needed out of you. And so today it kind of creeps in where I hear these whispers of like, if they don't approve you, then they'll walk away. And bro, this is such a beautiful program. We
Mhm.
welcome anybody. Our diversity is our strength. I don't need to worry about people approving me or not approving of me. This is not this is not a self-help program. It's a program
No,
of
it
surrender.
isn't.
You got to come in here and you got to be honest, and it's about you. It's not about anybody else. This program is everything you need it to be, and it's nothing you don't need it to be, right? But other people getting involved, and I'll keep it on me. It can get real muddy when other people's recovery bleeds over into mine. Like I could be so down because somebody else goes out that I almost want to come to the point of using drugs. Like that happens to us.
Yeah.
That happens to us, right? That happens to us. Like if they're gonna go out, we might as well use too. That's sick, man. That just shows like You ever had those thoughts? Like you're an addict, right? And you should
Yeah.
be here, and you should talk about that feeling in a meeting somewhere. You should be honest with a group about your feelings about that, because you don't want that thing to, that feeling to take you out, because it will. It will. I think it does every day for people until they get in here and they realize how to change it. So I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little bit off on it, but I wanted to hit on this insecurity. I feel insecure too. That was like
Yeah.
that third wheel in that. When I rely on approval of other people's, I'm immediately questioning myself. Like immediately, right? So then it's just insecure.
Yeah.
It creeps in. What if they change even if you do accept me? Look, this is the way I thought about it. Even if you do accept me and love me, I'm still insecure, because I'm like, what if he changes his mind? What if they change their mind? What if it
Or
changes tomorrow?
or what if they do accept and love you, but it's not the kind of acceptance or love you understand?
That part. That
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that's the problem, is that when we paint this picture on someone, we don't even know what they're saying.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And that can go into a resentment. You can start having
Woo,
resentments and stuff. So
woo.
it's
Yeah.
a
Instant
layered
resentment. That's a
facts.
premeditated resentment.
Premeditated. That's
That's
right.
right.
That's so funny. That's beautiful. Hey, I'm done. That was good. I'll pass that.
Woo.
Thanks for the
That was
question, man.
really good. It was really good. Yeah, I also learned that like everybody shows appreciation differently, and so I
Yes.
can't expect someone to like show it the
Yes.
same way I would. And that's been a
Yes.
big help in my relationship, because me and my husband are not the same people,
Yes.
and he can still feel the same thing as me, but doesn't say it the same.
Approval
And
and
so,
validation comes in all different ways. It just
oh
is
yeah,
you know.
yeah, I've had to learn that, and I still got to remind myself that sometimes. But
Yeah.
so what emotions do I feel most when I put others' needs before my own? So I'm gonna touch a little bit on so the service thing is something I feel like I've learned that how to feel that way when I do service, doing something, it's kind of like the people pleasing, like, I can still do stuff for people and not feel resentful. I can still, this part of doing something for somebody is in a service way. So it hits a different part of my heart. And but when it comes to like the real codependency part to me, like you're saying, Andrew, I get resentful. Like I get resentful when I don't get the kudos I think I should get. And a lot of it comes from, I lived in a lot of like I'm not worthy when I was in active addiction. Like I'm not a worthy person, not a worthy mom, wife. Like we had been talking about before, like I'm always making up for something. And so the fact of needing approval was the only way I could convince myself that I was worthy. And like like with my chronic pain, like I gotta show you guys. My arthritis is kicking today. I have a sparkly cane. Oh,
Ooh,
what?
magical motherfucker. You got some LED lights in that?
That's
Turn them
Damn,
blinking.
you're seeing stars before you see stars.
right.
That's dope.
If you're gonna do it sparkly. That's what I say.
Yeah.
But it's
Dope.
like, so I'm always like with stuff like that, with carrying, like I don't carry it so much anymore, but it doesn't mean it doesn't show up. The guilt of how I was in active addiction, the fact that I feel like a burden sometimes with my condition, with my leg. And so I want those approvals. So when I do something, like I don't do it anymore, but I would tell my husband, like, I worked really hard on the house today. Will you please tell me it looks good when you get home? He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need
That's
to do
funny.
that. I don't, I don't ask him to do it anymore. And so, because I know he appreciates it. I know he thinks it looks good, but we're different, and he doesn't, it's not like he has to, I want him to show me the same way I would show him. And so I get resentful, and then I feel, I feel guilty when I do that, because, like even for my kids, because I know I shouldn't be. Like
You
sometimes
take
it's
the compliment right out
codependency.
of it. You take it right out of it. If you tell him to tell you thank you for doing that, you
Yeah.
literally null and void. Like even if
Yeah.
he were to do that, it doesn't mean anything at that point, because you had to ask him to do that.
Yeah. Yes, it's
Crazy.
unnatural. Yeah. And so many times for so long did I do it, and I didn't see that in an unhealthy way. Like, like, and I do love a good attaboy. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But I don't I don't need to measure my worth by them anymore.
Mm-mm.
And so I do know that when it comes to putting others first in that sense of codependency, any of the emotions I have are going to be negative, and a majority of them are towards myself. You know, like, am I not good enough for you to think about me? Like, especially when I feel like that you're letting me be codependent on you. Like, I don't know, that's a pretty twisted way to think, but it's what it is. Like, that's how my resentments turn full circle. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, you're letting me be like this? And like, why
I
can't you
wouldn't be
just,
like this unless you let me to
yeah,
do it.
right? Or why couldn't you just do what I want you to do? Because then I wouldn't feel this way about you. Like, how confusing is that for the other person also?
Mhm.
So confusing. It's like, man, just get your freaking emotions together. But there's that line where I know that I don't want to feel that way about people, and I've had to learn that we are all different, and my relationship, with other people, in my relationship with my children. The children I'm still trying to mold, but I'm working on that. Because it can still stunt them if I try to do it too much. And so it's never a good emotion. I don't like to feel like I'm not worthy enough. Because I'll tell you what, like, even though, like, and being a recovering addict is not a bad thing, but like, I might be, a recovering addict who's disabled. I don't work. I'm a badass motherfucker. I
Facts.
really am.
I put you in the
Like, when
badass motherfucker
I know
category.
that's
her.
right.
I know that chick.
I have a
At
sparkly
least in the
cane.
category I love the most.
Kind of a big deal.
And
People know her.
gotta so it's like I need to give myself that. Like, instead of putting myself my mental state, at least, in situations where I'm going to feel less about myself, I need to remind myself that, like, my family, they do value me, and all these things that I fear that they don't feel, they do. They feel like they appreciate me. Like, my husband thinks I'm an amazing mom, and like, and that hits my heart every time he says it. I'm like, will you say that again to my phone so I can record it?
Slower, please.
We say it
Slower.
slower, and because the self-doubt could still come in, and a lot of it comes from codependency. It's just crazy how it goes and goes, and it's like it's a circle, and I'm just trying to find that out, and where I want to be able to have a healthy relationship with myself and others in the way I give, and the way that I receive, because I don't want to go on feeling resentful. I mean, I've had to work a lot on resentments because I'm a people pleasing codependent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this for you and that for you, and you're not even going to say thank you. You're not going to do the same for me, and that's a big one. It's like, well, I did that for you. I don't know why you couldn't do that. I'm setting them up. I'm setting myself up. And being able to, and then we're talking about, like, one of you guys said it, I think it was Milan, like, doing something without expecting anything, and I talked about, I think last time we were here, like, I've been cleaning for my dad, each room each week. And, there was, my sister, she was there for a little bit, and she was trying to bank on what she was going to get in the end. And, my dad has lost everything he's ever worked for. And so I don't want, there's nothing to get, really. I don't want anything. I purely want to do this for him. And I can do this in a non-resentful way. I don't feel guilty. I don't even need an attaboy from him because he's not really good at giving them. He doesn't like that I'm helping him. And, but to be able to turn and do something for somebody and not want anything or expect anything, it feels really good, because I still do that at my house. I still do that with my family. In my head, at least. I may not show them as much anymore, but I'm still working on not feeling that way, because I just, like, try to swipe that feeling away. But I'm better at not expecting it from them. And so, yeah, I kind of went on a tangent also, but I think that's a pretty good answer.
Throwing them tangents.
I love
Let's
that.
go, tangent. Tammy Tangent. Let's go.
I love
Okay,
this
Andrew,
shit.
you ready?
Born ready, sir.
Okay. Codependency disguises fear as love, and real love allows freedom. How has recovery reshaped your understanding of love in relationships?
Anytime you ask me about love, man, I just kind of sit back and smile
Hashtag
and
LLA.
hashtag LLA, love like Andrew, man. It's and that's starting
Right.
to it's hard to get around a little bit, Brandy.
That's what we're going to do.
We're starting to get a thing around. It's starting to get a little traction.
Right. I
Starting to get a
love
little
it.
traction. Love has shaped everything as it relates to my recovery and moving forward, man. I've everything starts with love for me. Let's our voices encourage, LOVE, man. Love, love, love. Um, it's limitless. It has taken and it's reshaped how I think about things because man, I'm no longer like judging all these people and all these things as they roll through my day. I still find myself doing that. I'm going to be honest here, because we can all say we don't judge, but we all do.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
judge. Now, whether we can stop it as it starts, and kind of have that judge and move right through it, or we continue to talk or think about that thing is where it can get a little tricky for me. But I've been able to really, if I see something that I don't really like or think that it's proper in the situation, as long as it's not affecting me or like my family or anything around me, like I will, like I let it go. Like I have to let it go. Loving somebody right where they're at. That unconditional love piece. Like I love everybody, man, everybody, because we help each other, right? But doesn't mean I have to act out on my feelings if you come at me sideways or if something happens in a public setting. I just let it roll off, man. Like love has allowed me to not take things so seriously. Not everything is so serious, man. As long as we can come out of this thing alive and healthy and stay clean while we're doing it, man, it'll be okay with me.
Yeah.
It really has. Love has really taken hold of everything that I do, man. If it doesn't have to do with love, it's not really like it doesn't really pump me up. You know what I mean? It doesn't really pump me up if love is not involved. And I'm trying to think about anything that I do that isn't loving, really. I mean, I go to work. That's not loving. Loving, work
You help
sucks.
people see.
I help people see. So there's love in that action too.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna back love down, man. Love is everything for me, man. I don't really know what the question was, man, and it doesn't really matter at this point. I love you.
I love you
And
too.
I love you, Brandy.
I love you. I want to ask you something real quick before you ask me, Milan. So what was love like for you before you got clean? Because you really do represent love.
Bro, I didn't know what love was, right? But when I got here and y'all showed me what it was, I was able to tap into my mother's love. That my mother loved me, man. My father loved me. But I wasn't able to even know what that was and know what that feeling was until I got here. And so when I felt love when I got here, it took over all those feelings of like withdrawals and like suffering and depression. Like love beat every single thought process that came into my mind early on in recovery, man. Like love would literally win out. I'd be on the bathroom floor like throwing up, but I could feel love from somebody helping me out off the bathroom ground. It literally picked me up from nothing, man. Love just wiped me off the ground, man. Like love just picked me up and it gave me some buoyancy, man. And it's more or less how I communicate it, and it's a feeling, it's an action. It's an action, and I stay connected to it at all times, bro. Love, God is love.
Yeah.
Love is God.
Yeah.
When I found God, I found love. And now being able to do that, it's a natural thing for me. But I don't even know what it looked like before I got here. I don't think it looked like anything. It was messy. It was messy. It was what I thought was love, but I really just was. I needed that substance, sis. But being able to really tap into it now, I'm making up for lost time, man. Making up for lost time, bro. Love
What a
you guys.
beautiful
Man.
transformation. I love
Yeah,
it.
thank you so much, and I love you. I'll continue to love you.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, codependency disguises fear as love. Real love allows freedom. How has recovery reshaped your understanding of love in relationships?
Man, so it kind of goes back to what I was even saying before, like the fear of not being good enough, and the fear of not being successful at what I'm, trying to do, which is, staying clean, because I was never successful in that area of my life. And like the fear of of actually doing what I'm saying. And with that, it's like the love that has deepened because of wiping that stuff away. Again, I'm a work in progress, and I'm okay with that. I mean, it's what it is. It's exciting, if anything. But the changes that have come from that are like I never thought before. You know, I went from being in a relationship that was toxic and unhealthy codependency, so much fear, guilt, all those negative things, to like pure love. It really is. And somebody asked me when my husband and I celebrated for 21 years, like, how did you do it? And I wanted to say, well, I kept coming back, but that was the program speaking.
Keep coming back.
But I still found a way to put the program in. I said, no
It
matter
works
what.
if you work it.
Yeah, no matter what, yeah, we both know we're a work in progress. And the fact that, that I've been able to turn all those negative things, instead of like fearing that my husband's not going to think I'm good enough, I know that whatever I do, my husband loves me, and it's for love, and I don't need him to say it to me all the time. I mean, I do like it. Like I say I love you a lot to him. And I told him one day, I said, you know why I say it a lot? Because I say it every time it runs through my head. And so it could be, a random
That's
thing.
beautiful.
Yeah. And so it's like if we're sitting there and I'm like, I love you. And it's because that's what just
Aw.
ran through my mind. And so, those are the kind of things that ran through my mind before. It was really like, what is he going to find out? Like, if he opens his mouth, is he going to ask me a question? I'm going to have to lie about it. Am I not going to have to lie about a lie? And it's just a different angle in my relationship that, like, I knew was possible, but I didn't see it for a long time. I didn't see it for a long time, and I don't have the fears of us not being together, and like, what's the next time I'm gonna, like, I like when I was using, I was afraid, like, oh my God, if I get caught again, he is gonna, this time he's gonna leave me, and I'd
Yeah.
still get high. And then when I wasn't caught, I would just like do everything. I mean, I worked in full codependency mode to make sure that he didn't really know what I just did. And I so do not miss that rat race in my head. I don't at all. And I know when things aren't perfect, like, because I think a healthy relationship is healthy arguments, we don't fight.
Mm.
I don't remember last time we had a fight. I don't, but we argue because we're different people. But in the end, it comes to a loving place where we meet each other. Before, I didn't even want to disagree with him, even if I was right, because I didn't want him to like think anything of me that was, probably even true in the moment. And so I'm very grateful for that side to it today. Like I got fears here, and everybody's got fears. We're human. But today I find ways to cope with them, or to work through them, to see them for what they really are. And a lot of them, is not, it's not even real. It's like we've talked here, like some of my fears are just premeditated shit. And instead of just going with the flow in the moment. And so I'm grateful for the love I have today. My husband truly is my best friend. And I used to say that, oh, I married my best friend. And I said that for years, knowing that we were not even speaking to each other at the time. And yeah. And today it really is, like kind of going off on a tangent. Like my addiction and my recovery has brought my relationship to a level that I didn't know was possible, but I know I always wanted. And so I'm very grateful for that. I love my husband.
Better change her name to Tammy Tangent right now.
I know.
Damn, Tammy
Don't get me
Tangent.
going.
Okie dokie,
All right.
Milan. Codependency disguises fear as love. Real love allows freedom. How has recovery shaped my understanding of love in relationships? Man, like what I thought was love. It's kind of like freedom, like they're two different things now that I'm here and I'm learning. And, like love was transactional. I had like,
Yeah.
it was nothing but interlaced with expectations. In fact,
Yeah.
like when I looked at my first resentment list, it was all about people who didn't meet up to their end of my deal that I didn't even make with them. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
like it was like now it's trying to appreciate others for who they are, not needing them to be who I want. You know, and that First Corinthians 13, I know I refer to it a lot, but it really ultimately to me is my goalpost for loving
Yeah.
completely. Like if you go through that reading and you're crossing the line on anything, I think it's incomplete love. And I probably will never ever love 100% completely, but I've reduced my meandering considerably.
Mm,
You know, and the biggest one is that keep no record of wrongs. Like
yeah.
that is like, man, like first of all, you're robbing yourself of the present. Second of all, like, for sure keeping that record is going to start paperwork later. You know,
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
and then second of all,
Yep.
it's just like it never like it never resolves things. It never makes you feel better. They're never like, thanks for those 5 things you haven't let go of. I'm really glad that you could take me back to the shittiest times of our relationship. Gosh,
Buddy.
Yeah.
I sure admire your memory. Like, like, like that
Oh
just doesn't
snap!
happen.
That's a. I sure admire your memory.
There's a guy in my Nooner group, and he's I think he's 48 or 49 years right now in his into his sobriety, and he came to one of my porch meetings, and he got love as the spiritual principle, and
Hmm.
he said, he went on and talked about it, and he said ultimately he says, I think by now love to me is not wanting to change you. And I was
Mm,
like, fucking knocked it out of the park, Wayne motherfucking Parker. Like,
that's really good.
like after somebody who's in their late 70s and been in the program that long, and I was like, that's a tidbit right there, man.
Yeah.
And like because it's just like think about how many times you've had a relationship where you didn't want to change somebody in some way,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So I'm going to leave that one there, and I'm going to let Andrew ask the next question because, hey, guess what? I love you
I love
guys.
you.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
I
I'll take it.
love you. I
I'll take
love you
it.
like this. I love you like that.
Brandizzle,
Yes.
aka Tammy Tangent. How has letting go of control brought more peace to you into your recovery? So, how has letting go of control brought more peace into your recovery?
Man, I like to control. I like to just be in control of a situation, and like I'm a future tripper, so I like to say I'm a former future tripper, but yeah, it still happens. You know, uh but letting go of control has helped me in a lot of ways, and I still work on it. I still do. Um and I don't know if there's ever a good way to control something because it's not natural. And but being able to let go a lot of the control, and that is like I deal with a lot of perfectionism, and I deal with um what is it, like expectations of other people, and those are that's control. I can't control how somebody else is going to do something or how they're going to say something. I can only meet them where they're at. I can only worry about myself. A big one, I remember hearing this in treatment, and I know we talk about this all the time, but the first time I heard it, it hit me different. Like, you can only control your actions. You cannot control anybody else's. And I felt like such a sense of relief when I heard that, because wait, so I only have to worry about what I do? Like, oh, my part in it only? I don't have to analyze their part either. And that right there was like the beginning of me realizing that I can let go of some of this. Like I don't have to take somebody else's notes for them, or like show them this and that, like, well, this is how we're going to do it. Like I always had to know what we were going to do next. Like I don't like last minute plans. My kids know that for sure. But and that is a control thing in a bit. But I don't have to have the whole thing in my pocket before I start something. Like I don't have to know which way it's going to go. And but with that, when I don't control other people's actions and I only control my own, it's like I said, it's a huge weight off of me because I don't know why I felt like I had to. It's maybe it was. I think we were talking about this before. Maybe it's like I was the hero and the fixer, and that right there is a big control thing. Like I want to make sure everything is okay and it goes smooth and everybody's happy. Like, so I'm going to control the situation by this is how we are all going to react. This is how you're going to react and I'm going to react. And that's does that solve anything? No. We may go through the motions of something, but it doesn't mean that we're solving anything or getting through it. So for me to be able to just take my my own notes then my own inventory was trying to say is it takes it definitely takes a lot off of me. I think that control comes in many forms, and I find that out here in recovery. Like I didn't realize that perfectionism was a control thing, and it really is. Because I don't have to make something perfect for it to be exactly how I want it to be. In my mind, I'm like, well, if it's not like that, then it's not good. Laptop's dying. And so today I can see it and I can work on it and I can acknowledge it and I can see it in every form that it comes into my life because I don't have to know everything. I need to know like that I'm going to do the next right thing. And I can only speak for myself. I can only take actions for myself, and I can't do it for other people. And it's taken a lot of a lot of resentments away. Like I remember, um, getting on, with my husband. Kind of always bring it back to him, but it's like I had to realize that we are different people. Like no, there's not like two Brandys in a relationship. There's not like we all bring something different. And that's okay. We may not do things the same way. People don't have to do things the exact way I do it. And I've had a lot of times where I've expected people to come at me in the same way I do to them. And I don't have control over that. And that helps me a lot when it comes to uncomfortable situations, or if I'm, if it's a negative scenario, I don't have control over that. I have to let go of whatever control I think I have over somebody else's outcome. And as much as it can still I can still sit there and be like, well, what are they going to do? Are they going to do this the way I think they're going to do it? I got to let it go. It's something that I will probably always, like I said, work on, but at different angles and different character defects because it's not I'm not my family's HR. Okay. I love it. When you said you're not the world's human
The
resource.
world's HR.
Yeah, I'm not my family's HR. And I had to write that one down. That was funny. So it's, the
I'm
more
glad you did because I had already forgotten it.
Did you? Oh, it was good. That was gold. That was, I'm gonna remind myself that I know at least a few times, like when it comes to how I'm feeling like, wait, you're not the HR, Brandy. Just stop. Okay.
Yep.
So, control is a thing that maybe when we get into our early recovery, we don't look at it. It doesn't get that much attention. But I know that I kind of saw it in the beginning, and I see it in different ways today. But I have the tools today to work on it, and the opportunities to talk about it, like here, and be able to explore it more, because it's something that I definitely want to grow from, and I don't have to control things. I can try, but it's not going to do me no good. So I'll leave it there.
I
I
love
love
that.
you, Brandy. And it's so funny. You were like, why do I always bring it back to my husband when we are talking about codependency?
I was going to say that was, I was right at like, I'm glad you said it because I was right there. I was like,
I'm like, check.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Coming to you, Milan.
Okay.
So how has letting go of control brought more peace to your recovery?
ooh, well, I mean, like if I look at what was the absence of peace, it was the relentless hamster wheel of trying to control. You know, it was either the trying to control or my obviously dissatisfaction from failing, you know, but I would blame
Mm.
you as the failure, right? Like,
Blame
and
Alito.
really it was my own, it was really just like my own inability to be master of the universe, right? And oh gosh, like it ate up so much of my brain, man. It ate up so much of my brain and produced so much of the dissatisfaction. And,
Mm.
you know, like I'm pretty self-sufficient, dude. You give me a room, a guitar, a computer, and a fucking road to walk on, and a couple bears, and like
I was
I
waiting for
don't need
that.
nobody. Like,
Silly man. Silly man.
but you know, I just think that jumping jumping off that hamster wheel has provided so much serenity and peace for me. You know, like,
Mm.
and a big part of it, you know, would stem from surrender. You know, from learning to surrender and love. You know, like my two main focuses with my two-way prayer is learning to deepen my surrender and loving more completely. And both those things are literally like the absence of control. You know, whether you're doing one or the other, you're not controlling people if you're loving them completely, and if you're surrendering, that's pretty much the opposite of surrender. Let's just say
Yeah.
that, like, you know. So, yeah, I mean, freedom is right at my doorstep, and it's like I can choose to go outside and play or not.
Yes.
Yeah,
Freedom.
Yes.
freedom.
Love you, man.
Yeah,
Love you.
Mm.
Happy fucking 2 years, bro.
boom, boom.
Right?
Mm, I'll take it, Brandy. Or is it my
No,
question?
You
you
ask
got to answer
yourself.
your own question.
God, I'm
Yep.
so dumb. So how has letting go of
Don't
control
say
brought
that.
more peace into my recovery? I was totally off. So yeah, letting go of control has been one of the biggest challenges for me. But it's also one of the greatest sources of peace for me too. Um, you know, when I'm able to do that, you know, peace is there when I can do that. But it's really tough to do that, man. Um, you know, I even believe and I still believe this sometimes, like if I can fix, manage, and control the situation, then I finally feel okay inside. And the truth is that that's not, it would, you know, managing and fixing and controlling situations just kept me anxious, restless. It
Mhm.
kept me irritable, you know, and I couldn't really realize that until I did a little work on myself, you know. But even when I got into here, like I wanted to control how people saw me as a recovering addict. I wanted to be like the best
Yeah.
addict, you know, recovering. I wanted to have like the best shares. I think we all get a little bit of that, but we all want to be better than we think we are being at that time.
Mm.
And I had to realize, man, like I'm struggling and I gotta be okay with that, right? I gotta come here and talk about it. I'm struggling. I can't can't sugarcoat me struggling. I
Yeah.
can't come in here
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
sweating and shaking and say that, hey man, it's a great day. I just got out of the pool. You know, it doesn't work, you know, it doesn't work, you know. So I've got, you know, it's about that rigorous honest piece, that honesty, man. It starts with honesty. If we're not being honest with everything going on about ourselves, then we're playing a video game. You know,
Mm.
we're playing, so we're just wasting time, you know, we're going backwards. So um you know, I even like even like my sponsees, like I wanted to have some control over my sponsees and sponsor, how they looked at me, how my sponsor looked at me in a situation. If he didn't act a certain way when I did something for him, or that he asked me to do, bro, I'm like all up in my feels. You know, I get all my feeling. Like I feel
Yeah.
like like I would be crushed. Like I failed him if I didn't do something right. I didn't do something on time, or if I forgot to call him the next morning or something. Like I would really, really get down on myself. And then he would just quickly remind me that, like, bro, like this is life. Things happen. We get busy. We forget things. It just happens, man. Shit happens.
Yeah.
Life happens. Life shows
We're
up.
human.
We're human. We're not. Nobody's perfect. So
Hmm.
peace really comes from letting go, from surrendering. The peace that I could finally surrender the control, right? Control what's in my wheelhouse, what I need to and want to stay clean and be of service to others. Outside of that, like, I gotta let the rest of it go, man. It's not up to me anymore. You know, so when I start focusing back on me and my own programs, my sponsor says this: if you're focusing on other people and other people's problems, you're actively working on a relapse. If you're working on your problems and what you have going on, you're actively working on recovery, like you're in active recovery. And so I gotta let go, let God, right? I gotta trust this process. We've talked a lot about that recently. You know, putting trust in this program and not so much the people. Yes, I've got my people, but I've got to trust this
Yeah.
program because this program will never let you down. It won't let you down. You know, if you work this properly, you stay grateful, you actually do what is required of you and suggested of you in this program, you'll never use drugs for the rest of your life if you choose not to.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty simple. It's really, really complex, but very simple. So I'll pass that. I think I got off on a little tangent.
Okie dokie. Tammy,
call
do
you-
you have a question for me?
Contagious.
We'll call you Tommy Tangent. I was going to say my sponsor says, and it's always stuck with me, like healthy people move towards their problems.
Yes.
And it's a hard thing to do, but it's the healthy direction for sure. Because we all got problems. I mean, new or old, you know?
Yep. TT.
Okay. Right.
We got Tommy and Tammy here today.
We got 2-year Todd.
No. Don't do it. You won't do it. I love you guys.
Okay, I'm asking Milan, right?
Me, yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking
Okay.
2-year Tony.
So, 2-year Tony. Yes, I like it.
Tammy,
That's even
Tommy,
better.
and Tony. The 3 T's.
Three T's. There we go. Okay. What small victories have you experienced that remind you that you're making progress?
Oof. You know, I think like the small victories are like so small they seem ridiculous to other people, but it's like little smiles I see in people's faces
Yeah.
when I'm actually just being helpful to them with no codependency about it, you know? And it's kind of crazy because I feel like answering this question almost will turn service into an attaboy. I like, you know,
Yeah.
there's a couple things like, I mean, in the last week, you know,
Yeah.
there's a guy who's 65. He's 19 days from getting the first year sober since he was 13. And
we do.
and
recover.
so I had to help him move the other day, and he wanted to pay me and all
Yeah.
this stuff, and I was just like, dude,
You got to help him move.
You're wrecking my service, man. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
just let me help
Yeah.
you, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, and just being of service for him, and not being like, hey, you owe me or whatever. Like, I just honestly, like, I just see that he's like on this edge of freedom, and I'm just so proud of him that it's like I want to help him however I can, you know, and I
Yeah.
don't want it. I don't want our relationship to be a transaction, you know, like,
Yeah.
and so little things like that, you know, like, because I mean, he's a really funny guy, and but you know, he's all like sweating, and I don't know how you're doing this, and I'm just like, you just pass me the shit, man. I'll organize it. Like, I know
You're
my
like, I wrestle bears.
I wrestle
Come on,
bears.
man. Come on.
But you know, like I see it. I see it in my relationship with my daughter. Like I see how, you know, really this freaking beautiful person who's so strong and powerful, you know, is just emerging, you know, and it's really happening rapidly. The longer I'm not telling her she's wrong, you know,
Yeah.
because that was it, you know, like I have to learn that as long as she's happy, I can't fuck with how it's unfolding for her, you know? And that's more important to me now, you know? Like I see the gift that this life is, and I don't want to waste it disapproving or her feeling that way, you know? So it's little things like that, I think, you know? Just small smiles that I know um, are making people feel good about themselves or being around me, you know?
Beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You 2-year
Yep.
miracle, you. Silly man.
Love it. Love
Love
it.
you.
All right, Andrew, what small victories have you experienced that remind you you are you are making progress?
Yes, great question. Because I love these small victories, these small little quiet moments, man. It's the invisible moments that remind me I'm still growing. The first thing that popped into my head when you said that is today, and this is a beautiful, beautiful thing, is as I'm able to say no without being guilty. When I'm able to say no without being guilty, knowing that I'm doing it on my own, for my own well-being at the time, and then not immediately trying to make up for that, right? No is a complete answer, and as
Yeah,
an
it
addict,
is. Yep.
people pleasing, I'll be like, no, but, or, I won't answer the question just so I won't have to give them that no. Like I remember being deep in that shit, man, but I can actually say no because I know what my boundaries are today. And I know the staying clean must come first. But the old me would have said yes immediately, stressed myself out, work shit around to try to people please, you know what I mean? And not today, man. If I know I can't do it, I'll kindly just say, hey, I don't have time to do that today, but you can check in with me later on this week or whatever.
Yeah.
Boundaries, man. Boundaries. Um, and then on the backside of that, I'm better at not worrying about how you're thinking about what I'm saying, like on the long term, right? I'm not like trying to do something for you, like another act of service for you because I said no, right? I'm just going to go on being me, right? If you ask me for help later on down the road, then we'll revisit it then, and will ask you for help too because it's healthy. So um that's a big thing for me, being able to say no and not having to like answer all these questions or try to people please around that or say yes when I couldn't say yes. Another thing is like my emotions, I can separate my emotions from when someone gets upset with me, right? Like if somebody gets upset with me, it's like it's okay that they're upset with me, right? Because I'm drawing boundaries or whatever. Like if someone used to get upset with me, it would get me down. Like I would try to find other ways to make it better, which is not healthy, right? Like just take a situation for the way it is. But if someone would get upset with me, like now I can look at it as it's just you're where you're at. I'm where I'm at. I'm gonna keep my side of the street clean, and let's meet in the middle somewhere. I got to fix everything. I'm trying to over apologize and racking my brain trying to fix things that aren't my responsibility. That's a problem for me. So lately, I've noticed I can let your emotions be yours. And I
That's a
can
good
let my
one.
emotions be mine, and we can meet in the middle. And a lot of times that's where we can grow together is when we can both be who we are, and still be in the same room and still grow. So, pausing before trying to fix things, like that's another thing. Like I don't jump in to try to fix everything now. I used to just try to fix the world because I thought I was better than most people. Not like I didn't think I was better than people. I just thought I could do certain tasks better in a social setting, or if we were given a task, like I would just try to hop on it quick, and it would piss people off, But I was just that guy. At work or whatever it might be. But it's that anxious, like I just want to get it over with, get it done. And I respond to setbacks better today. Something like triggers me or like it's like criticism or something, I can talk with my people and know like it's just somebody thinking some kind of way. Like I check myself, my actions, as long as I'm happy and healthy and staying clean doing it, bro, I'm okay. Like I'm good. I'm definitely good. So don't even know the answer to the question, don't even know the question, and I love you.
I love you
Welcome.
too. That was great. That
Yep.
was great. Okay, so what are some small victories I have experienced that remind me I'm making progress? Um, I think I need to be reminded of my progress because it's like I can see it in other people, and I can see mine when someone says it to me uh in a non codependent way, should I say? But like I don't recognize it. I was just realizing that sounded very codependent. Um, but I just don't realize some of the growth. But when I do, um, it kind of opens my eyes to even more. there's things that that Andrew, you touched on a lot of it, like the way I react to things, the way I would let things get to me, there's a really, really good friend of mine. And when I was in active addiction, my people pleasing was at its fullest. And it wasn't even like I was physically doing anything, just, like being there and allowing her to express her anger towards her husband. And it just like, it killed me. Like I left there so negative, and I would always agree to go over there because we were, good friends, and our husbands are really good friends. And so, but today, and this is a huge one for me, today, I go over there and I don't feel the same at all. Maybe she's changed, maybe I've changed, maybe we've both changed, but I go there and I want to be there, and so things like that, like I see the difference in myself on how I react, how I allow things to hit me, than before. Like I'm still, still got emotions, and I can still have to work through things, but it's not as heavy as it used to be. And so when I can sit there and look at it, that a certain scenario, and it's when I think about how it would have been, is where I can see those victories, and it is all the small things that add up. I do cleaning once a week for my pastor and my old youth pastor. So I do it just once a week, but I would have never have trusted myself, even if it was like, I've seen, and my brain still goes to how it was before. Like I'll see money left out and I'm like, is that a test? Are they testing me? They're not testing me.
Yeah, there's a
They
baby
trust.
there, Cam, looking at you.
Yeah, right. Right.
God Cam's always
they're
watching.
not testing me.
Yeah.
They're trusting. They trust me.
That's dope.
When I feel someone's trust for me, man, that really that's an experience of that I see my growth. I don't know, I'll tell you something really quick. Just thinking about that, because I'm a tangent today, thinking about the like cleaning for people. I have my earbuds in when I clean, and I dance and sing and stuff like that, like all that shit. But I always keep one in case someone comes home, because I know, well, last week I was at one of the houses, and I was like, I was hitting the high notes and mopping. And in comes the girl's daughter. I was just like,
Oh,
man.
shit.
Yeah, it was so
you were
funny.
missing. You were hitting Mrs. Doubtfire, and you walk in.
Man, right? And so, but it was pretty funny. But
That's
it's
awesome.
things when I can sit there and look at how I would have reacted or acted, or what I would have done to versus what I do today. Like it really does. I'm grateful I can recognize those, because it feels good. It feels really good to know that that I'm trusted and other people trust me, it's not like the old Brandy thinking. I still think, like, is this a test? But in the moment, I also think like, man, I would have swiped that in a second. Denial was my middle name. You didn't catch me do it, I didn't do it. And today I own my shit, even if it's uncomfortable. But if I do it enough, I don't have to do it. And so that progress is important. And it's important for us to acknowledge it to ourselves. It's important for us to see the growth that we've come through, because I know I can't speak for you guys, but I'm gonna speak for you guys. There's amazing growth in this room right now.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, would any of us taken the time to do these podcasts and sit there and like do the work before the podcast in order to do the podcast? No, like that's huge growth. And like we were talking about
I
in the
wouldn't have
last
known
one,
what
like,
to say to talk about recovery. Like,
right,
I didn't even
right.
know what a podcast was.
Yeah, I didn't even listen to podcasts. I think I listened
Nope.
to like one before,
Nope.
and now I really do like podcasts, and I do like this one a lot.
It's dope.
And I do go back and listen to them and other ones. And but it's that putting that effort in to be able to do something good, and then being able to look back and realize the change, not just the like, you're an amazing person, even though I think I am, but to see the
You are.
change in myself. Because we got to do this kind of stuff. We got to look at it. You got to see it. It's okay to toot our own horn sometimes without it being an ego thing, because because I was always putting the negative front, and when I can remind myself with small experiences or big ones, the progress, I'm so grateful for it. Like I got on tomorrow I'm going and I'm getting my nails filled, and I made an appointment for a pedicure that I haven't had one for over 10 years. Doesn't
Let's
mean
go,
my feet are like
Brandy.
Flintstone, but I do my own because I have a pretty fucked up leg and my nerves are really bad. And I'm just weird about people with my foot because it's weird things hurt. And I'm not embarrassed what it looks like. I mean, I own that shit. I named it Norbert for all God's sakes. And but that's a huge thing for me to go and do that. And like, and it's something small, it's like to a normal person, it's like, oh, you're getting a pedicure. But to me, it's a huge thing, whether it be self-care or however you look at it. But I just didn't do that before. I wouldn't do it before. And a lot of it probably was insecurity about my leg, but I own that shit. I have a sparkly cane,
Ooh, I've
So
seen it. I've seen it.
that's my pimp cane. But it's so yeah, small victories all add up to what we're doing today. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to be able to have victories of any size, where I didn't think that I could really be victorious in anything. So that's my answer.
Love you,
I love
Brandy.
that.
I love you.
Woo! Okay, so I'm going to put 3 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock for this last round of questions I'm going to ask. So, Mr. Tommy Tangent,
Yes,
um,
sir.
living clean reminds us that dependence on others' approval is still bondage. How did you break free from seeking constant validation in your recovery?
I'm gonna go straight off the cusp on something different here. Brandy, you'll love this. There was a gentleman in our meeting last night that said procrastination is like masturbation. Yeah, it feels good at first, but then in the end, you're really just screwing yourself. So, when he said that, bro, I heard you cackle, bro. It was so funny when that dude said that, man.
It was so funny. It was
I
so
was
funny.
dying when he said that. He had like the whole story behind it and all that, and he's like, "Yeah, and then you're just screwing yourself." It's really
so
funny.
true, though.
I had to throw that in there on this one because it was on the
That's too
tip of my
funny.
tongue, and I meant to say that earlier. But yeah, I have to. What was your question?
Yeah.
How do you break free from seeking constant validation in your recovery?
Bro, so at first I just acted as if, man, I just borrowed all of y'all's thoughts and feelings and actions, and things bother me, but I just tried to show up and keep a straight face on, and then acting as if turned into me being what it was. I think when I came in here, y'all showed me how to act. He showed me everything, and so I just borrowed what y'all were doing and your belief systems and your love and all that shit until I had some of my own. They say let us love you till you learn how to love yourself, and I was able to do that. I was able to sit down long enough to feel some of that love, that true love that I felt. But then I had to be open-minded too, man. Our minds are like parachutes; they only work if they're open, right? So I got to be
I like
open-minded.
that.
Have you ever heard me say that, Brandy, before?
I don't think so. That's good.
Our mind's like a parachute. It only works if it's open, right? So I have to be more open-minded. And then, like Danny said, I don't have to have my head cracked open to remain open-minded now, right? I don't have to get my head shot open to be able to remain open-minded. So, so once I learn these things, even though they're unfamiliar to me, like that unfamiliar piece part, I grab onto it. And I hold on to it. And I've surrounded myself with my, sponsors, my home group, y'all, right? Like my trusted network, my recovery squad, if you will. Milan, you're part of that, man. This podcast, I'm insulated now. I'm insulated from all that other shit, man. And so, so peace, positive energy always creates elevation. Remember that.
Ooh.
Like that.
Pray every day and cherish everything. That's my 2 for peace.
Ooh.
Pray every day and cherish everything. Positive energy always creates elevation. I love you guys, man. I just this is such a beautiful program. It's allowed me to know right from wrong. It's allowed me to know that my feelings aren't facts, but it's a fact that we feel, right? So I don't have to let my feelings completely take me out of the game. I can pray. I can pray. What does pray stands for? Peace resides around you. Pray. Please remember, always yield. And then positive reassurance, always yours. Pray, man. Pray. I've gotten so comfortable in pray. If you don't know how to pray, push. Pray until something happens. Push. Pray until something happens, man.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
steps. The
yeah.
steps is because we're ending this. Steps. The solutions to every problem solved. We already know that, Milan, right? But they're also spiritual tools empowering progress.
Yeah, I love that one.
Ooh,
That's it.
yeah.
I'm done.
Oh, and the sound comes in.
Love you.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, Tammy Tangent, Living Clean reminds us that dependence on others' approval is still bondage. How do you break free from seeking constant validation in your recovery?
Are we brother and sister?
You guys do have the same last name. I mean, at
We
least you might be
do.
I've
cousins.
been
We
looking for
do.
you for a long time. What's up, Tammy?
That's my brother from
Hey.
another mother. Man, you know what? My ultimate is self-love. Like to
Hmm.
love myself where I'm
Mm.
Let's
at
go.
and to be
Yeah.
able to accept myself in any situation, be knowing that the flaws I have I can work on. And they're mine. They're not everyone else's flaws. Mine are it doesn't mean we got the same
Hmm.
problem because we got the same disease. Um, but yeah, that internal self-love, genuine self-love. I remember going to treatment and I did the questionnaire they do of mental state. And I think I got like 27, which is really bad. And then a week before I left, I got 2. And like that transformation of my self-love had changed so much. And I still need to remind myself of that. If there's something I run into that I don't feel like is going good, I start thinking negative. Um, I turn to self and and remind myself how much I
Self?
love myself today. I can love myself the way I do and still want to work on me, But no matter what, it comes down to this is like I think if we don't love ourselves, how do we love someone else? Like that's everybody knows that part, but it
Hmm.
really is a thing. And so I can't hang on to everybody else's thoughts. I can't hang on to everybody else's opinion or even anyone else's expectations towards me. All I can do is go inward and realize that there's just one of me, and I'm sure the world is happy for that sometimes, but
No.
I don't.
No. That's a
but
lie.
it's but it's all like like hashtag LLA love like Andrew, like it really is a huge foundation for me is love, because if I don't love myself, I'm not going to want to do better for myself and break those negative habits, those negative self-talk or negative actions with negative relationships, and that could be even in the most loving way. You can, like I was saying, what was it, overcoming codependency doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we care in a healthier way. And I got to do that for myself also, because I think it starts in my world, in Brandy land, it starts with me. So I
Hmm.
gotta,
That's a crazy
yeah,
place, bro.
it is, but it's full of love. So I'll leave
Yes.
it right there. 47
Woo.
seconds to
Bright
go.
I
colors,
love
bright
that.
colors, neons. Love it.
Sparkles.
Woo.
Love it.
Living Clean reminds us that dependence on others' approval is still bondage. How do I break free from seeking constant validation in my recovery? Man, oh man, like I really think I was a pity party master, which was like seeking the validation that I was living the hardest life, and
Mm,
like for me, it's been about learning to connect with the universe, which is my higher power, and learning to feel its love. You know,
yeah.
like I mean, that's feeling that part of and that connection is an integral part in me loving me. Like
Mm,
it's just when because I can look around and man, I really appreciate our universe. Like I really see a lot of beauty all the
yeah.
time. And then when I can feel that I'm part of that, it's like somehow that makes me feel more beautiful in a crazy way, and it's like finding peace inside myself. Because if I'm just like content and tapping into serenity, like I'm not needing something else to
Yeah.
complete me, you know?
Yeah.
And like like on the two-way prayer, the prayer, my meditation, and by doing the steps, like the steps themselves have helped me build self-esteem. They've taken me out of the like I fucking suck club, to like, if I work at it, I can be better, like,
Yeah.
which, I felt a fair sense of hopelessness the last few years of my addiction. Like, it
Yeah.
would be a
Me
lie to
too.
not say that I had written myself off, let alone what others thought about me. And and learning to be content with myself and my actions, like doing esteemable things, like uh Jim has some good ones there from the Unity group, and you want
Don't
to build
say that.
self-esteem. Hey, so I'm saying that you're keeping a record
Did I
wrong
say
right
that out
there.
loud? Did I say that out loud? I think I
You
did say that out
did.
loud. Did I
Yeah,
say
You
that out loud?
did.
yeah,
Woo!
and
Paperwork, paperwork.
like, and service helps me not like get out of myself, and then
Yeah.
and in those moments, like in those moments, I can honestly say we're sitting with some sponsees, or like I've just had times where it's like I'm genuinely just happy about their well-being and their survival in a way that I probably never have about anybody other than my daughter or something like that,
Yeah.
and it's different with them. So I'm going to leave that there because I love you guys a ton,
Love you.
and what a great day to be alive.
Yes.
Congratulations, bro. This is
Mm.
so
This is a
amazing, man.
beautiful
I'm
way to
so
start a day too.
And
can't
Very
wait
I'll,
to hear you
grateful.
speak later.
I'll be like I
Yes.
guess you guys probably start the parking lot like 15 minutes before or something
Yeah,
like that, or
I
yeah,
yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yep.
yep.
cool. I'm gonna jump on
Yeah.
then.
I'm gonna leave you. I'm
All
gonna leave
right.
this
Yeah.
with you. Look, pause. PAUSE. Pray and use step 11.
Woo. There you
I like that.
go.
Hey, I knew y'all like this one. And then
Yep.
program. This is a long one. Program. PROGRAM. People relying on God relaying a message. People relying on God relaying a message. Come on,
I
program.
like that.
That's a good one.
What?
There we
Come on,
go.
man.
Man, that's
Tammy,
great. That
Love
is
you,
great.
Milan.
final words.
Congratulations, bro. I'm so proud of you, bro.
Man,
Welcome.
final words are yeah, congratulations. I'm so grateful to be a part of your recovery and a part of this podcast and just this the growth in here. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, multiple
Yeah,
yay.
you got that.
And like there's so much that we can dive into this topic itself, and there's so much that goes with it. So I'm grateful to be here and share on it, and I'm grateful for when we come back again and share on it. So thank you for the opportunity.
I
Thanks
love you
for
guys.
listening too.
And everybody out there, tune in next episode for more recovery
Congratulations,
fun.
Milan.
I love you.
I love you guys.
Please help us help others. If you like what you've seen here today, please subscribe and share this podcast and help us get to 100 followers. We're looking for interaction with our audience. So please email recoveryfreedomrising@gmail.com or contact Milan Starcic on Facebook with questions, topic suggestions, or just comments. We'd love to hear from you.